We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident and that her partner, Dodi Fayed, has also been killed.
For years, people have wondered if there was more to Princess Diana's death than what we were told. Many believe it wasn't just a simple accident, that powerful people might have been involved, and that the truth was hidden from the world. Now, Joe Rogan has revealed something shocking. A list of names connected to Diana's tragic death. These are people who were never supposed to be linked to what happened that night. Who are they? Why was their involvement kept secret? And if this list is real, what does it mean for everything we thought we knew? The truth may finally be coming to light, and it's more chilling than anyone could have imagined. What did Joe Rogan actually say? Alright, let's start with the moment that caught everyone off guard. Joe Rogan, sitting there on his podcast, just casually dropped a bomb. In his usual laid-back way, he leaned back, laughed a little, and then said something that made everyone stop scrolling. There's a list out there, man. Names of politicians, intelligence officers, even royalty, all with ties to that car crash. He wasn't joking. You know how sometimes Joe goes off on those wild tangents? This didn't feel like that. He sounded serious, curious, but serious. You could hear it in his voice. He wasn't trying to be dramatic, but it was clear he had heard something big. Now, if you've followed Joe for a while, you know he talks about conspiracies a lot. Aliens, secret societies, cover-ups, you name it. But this felt different. There was something in his tone, like even he wasn't sure if he should be talking about it. He didn't sound like he was just repeating a random internet rumor. It sounded like someone told him, someone on the inside. And guess what? He wasn't alone in this conversation. Sitting across from him was one of his more serious guests. Not a comedian, not a random dude with a theory, but a guy with real connections, a former intelligence officer. You could tell this man had seen some stuff. He chose his words carefully, like he knew too much, but was still holding back. Joe asked him, half joking but half dead serious, "Are you telling me there's actually a list? Like, an actual list of people involved in Princess Diana's death?" The guest paused, smiled just a little, and then said, "Let's just say, if you dig deep enough, you'll find names you never expected." And man, that right there gave me chills. Because it wasn't a yes, and it wasn't a no. It was like a warning. A hint that there's way more to this story than we've ever been told. Now, Joe didn't read the list or give out names right there. But he did say that what he heard was shocking. Politicians, intelligence agents, royalty, people with power, real power. And Joe kept circling back to the same thing. Why would all these powerful people need Diana out of the way? And that's where the rabbit hole really starts. Who's allegedly on the list? Now let's talk about the most important part, the list itself. If this list really exists, who the hell is on it? Because this isn't just some random hit job. This was the death of one of the most loved women in the world. MI6 operatives. First up, the MI6. If you don't know, MI6 is basically Britain's version of the CIA. These are the people who operate in the shadows. According to the theory, they were watching Diana. Hard. She was getting way too popular. Her humanitarian work, her relationship with Dodi, her influence, it made her a threat to the people in power. Some say that MI6 had been following Diana for months. There are even claims they used a light flash tactic that night. Basically, they blind the driver with a super bright light, causing him to crash. It sounds crazy, right? But the scary part is, this is an actual tactic used in espionage. Royal family connections. Now here's where things get even darker. The royal family. Yup, you heard that right. There have always been rumors that certain members of the royal family were not exactly fans of Diana. Prince Philip in particular gets mentioned a lot. Some people say he openly disliked her. And you know what's crazy? Diana herself once said, "They're going to kill me." She told her lawyer, her butler, even wrote it down in a letter. She was scared. She felt like someone was out to get her. And the theory is, maybe she was right. British politicians. Next, we've got some big names from British politics. According to the story Joe heard, Some powerful politicians were terrified of Diana's growing influence. She was speaking out on issues most people were too scared to touch. Landmines, poverty, AIDS. She was shining a light on stuff people wanted to keep hidden. And then there's the business side. Diana was going after the landmine industry. And that, my friends, is big money. You think the politicians funding those arms deals wanted her ruining their business? Not a chance. French intelligence and police. Then, there's the French side of things. After all, the crash happened. In Paris, right? So where were the French police that night? Why were so many cameras in that tunnel turned off? Doesn't that seem odd? Some people think the French intelligence was in on it too. Maybe they didn't plan it, but they sure didn't stop it. Maybe they helped cover it up. There's just too much that doesn't add up. Too many missing pieces. Media moguls and paparazzi. And of course, we can't forget the paparazzi. Those guys were all over Diana every single day. But the question is, who was paying them? Who really financed that crazy chase through the streets of Paris? It wasn't just about getting a photo. Some say the media was being used as a weapon. Keep the pressure on. Keep chasing. And eventually, something's gonna give. Dodi Fayed's enemies. Finally, we've got Dodi Fayed's side. His father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, has been screaming for years that this was a plot. A racist plot. He believed the British establishment didn't want Diana marrying a Muslim. Think about it. Diana, the mother of the future king, having a baby with Dodi Fayed, that would change everything. It would shake the royal family to its core. And some people would do anything to stop that. Evidence supporting the conspiracies. Now you're probably wondering, what's the proof? What makes people believe all this? Well, buckle up, because once you hear the facts, it's hard to unsee them. First off, Diana wasn't wearing a seatbelt. That's what they tell us. But here's the thing. Diana always wore her seatbelt. Everyone close to her said that. So why wasn't she wearing it that night? Did someone tamper with the car? Or was there another reason? Then there's the CCTV footage. Guess what? Almost every camera in that tunnel was switched off or not working that night. Out of all nights, it just happens to be the night Diana dies. What are the odds of that? And then there's that mysterious white Fiat Uno. Witnesses saw it speeding away from the crash, but it was never found. Never. It just vanished. Some say it was part of the plan, a way to force the car off the road, but no one ever tracked it down. Let's talk about Henri Paul, the driver. The official report says he was drunk, but later tests showed his blood alcohol level didn't match the way he was acting just minutes before the crash. He wasn't stumbling, he wasn't slurring. Something doesn't add up there. And here's the part that still gives me goosebumps. Diana knew something was going to happen. She literally wrote it down. They are planning an accident in my car. She felt it. She knew. And no one listened. There have been books, documentaries, even official investigations like Operation Paget. They've looked at all of this, but somehow, the official story never really changes. They keep saying it was just a tragic accident. But was it? And that brings us back to Joe Rogan. Where did he hear this? Did someone pass him this information? A whistleblower maybe? Or is he just connecting the dots like so many of us do? Either way, when someone like Joe Rogan talks about it, people listen. And honestly, after hearing all this, it's hard not to wonder, what if that list really does exist? What if it's sitting in a safe somewhere, with names that would shock the world? Why would these people want Diana gone? So, the big question, why? Why would all these powerful people want Diana dead? The answer is simple. Power. Control. Diana was loved by millions. She was bigger than the royal family itself. Everywhere she went, cameras followed. She had a voice, and she used it. And not everyone liked what she had to say. Her campaign against landmines threatened billion-dollar deals. Her relationship with Dodi threatened royal traditions. And let's be honest, she was unpredictable. They couldn't control her. And people in power, they hate what they can't control. And maybe, just maybe, someone decided it was easier to make sure she was gone. Now, I don't know about you, But hearing all this makes me wonder, what else don't we know? If this list is real, how long before it finally comes out? How many secrets are still buried with Diana? And here's the scariest part. If they could do this to her, the most famous woman on the planet, what else are they hiding from us? The information in this list raises more questions than answers. If these names were kept in the dark for so long, what else has been hidden? The truth about Diana's death might be far more complicated than we ever knew. There's still so much to uncover, and this story is far from over. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the truth will ever fully come out? Stay tuned for more updates, and thanks for watching. Princess Charlotte has become a symbol of this generational shift. Her public appearances have always been characterized by her poise and composure. But behind the polished image lies a young royal navigating the pressure of her circumstances. Will she embrace her role as part of William's vision for a modern monarchy? Or will she resist, seeking to carve out her own path? The question is one that no one can answer yet, but it's clear that Charlotte's reaction carries significant weight. Her silent struggle mirrors the very challenges facing the royal family. How to balance tradition with the demands of an evolving world. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla's struggle highlights another layer of this unfolding story. After decades of public scrutiny, Camilla's promotion to Queen Consort was meant to be the crowning moment of her journey. Yet as Prince William consolidates his power, Camilla finds herself increasingly sidelined. For someone who worked tirelessly to secure her place in the monarchy, her exclusion is both frustrating and symbolic. The younger generation, William and Catherine, have taken center stage, leaving Camilla questioning her legacy. While her title remains intact, her influence is fading, and many are left wondering if this marks the beginning of the end of her role as a key player in the monarchy. Behind closed doors, insiders suggest that King Charles and Camilla are facing growing strain in their relationship. As Charles leans on William and Catherine to lead, Camilla's frustrations have only deepened. While the public remains largely unaware of this silent battle, the cracks are becoming harder to ignore. Charles may have intended to secure the monarchy's future by elevating William, but in doing so, he has inadvertently left Camilla on the periphery. Will she fight to reclaim her place, or will she accept her diminishing role within the palace? The future of the monarchy hangs in the balance, and every decision made now will have lasting consequences. Princess Charlotte, a key to the monarchy's future. Princess Charlotte's story is more than just a footnote in the royal family's journey. It's a reflection of the delicate balance between old traditions and the new world William is working to create. At such a young age, Charlotte is already grappling with the pressures of being part of one of the world's most watched families. The royal household has spent years carefully crafting her public image, presenting her as poised, mature, and ready for the responsibilities she will inevitably face. Yet William's bold decisions have made her role far more complex, and Charlotte now faces a crossroads that could define her place in the monarchy for decades to come. As William and Catherine rise in prominence, Princess Charlotte is left to wonder what this means for her future. Once seen as part of the supporting cast to her older brother, Prince George, Charlotte is now being viewed in a new light. Her father's modern vision for the monarchy means that the expectations placed upon her are evolving. No longer just a child in the background, Charlotte is increasingly positioned as a key figure in the monarchy's future. But the question remains, how will she respond to the shifting tides of power within her family? The monarchy has always been defined by its ability to adapt to the times, but this transition has been anything but smooth. The silent tension between the older and younger generations of royals is impossible to ignore, and Princess Charlotte's reaction to her father's decisions has captured the public's attention. While Charlotte has often been praised for her grace and maturity beyond her years, this moment is testing her in ways that no young royal should have to endure. As William continues to reshape the monarchy's role in the modern world, Charlotte must find her footing amidst the chaos. Her journey is not just personal, it is symbolic of the greater challenges facing the royal family. Can Charlotte embrace the responsibilities that come with her position? Or will she push back against the weight of her family's expectations? Will she step forward and become an integral part of William's vision? Or will she quietly resist the changes that threaten to redefine her role? The choices she makes in these formative years could have far-reaching consequences, not only for herself, but for the monarchy as a whole. The royal family's journey has always been one of evolution, but the stakes have never been higher. With Prince William's decisions shaking the very foundation of the monarchy, the spotlight now falls on Charlotte. Her silent struggle represents more than just a personal challenge. It's a reflection of the monarchy's future. The decisions made today will shape the family's legacy for generations, and Charlotte is at the center of it all. Will she embrace her role as a modern royal, or will the pressures of palace life prove to be too much? As the dust settles on William's bold power play, the royal family stands on the brink of a new era. The rise of William and Catherine has shifted the balance of power, and the once unshakable traditions of the monarchy are being tested like never before. Princess Charlotte's journey through this transition will be pivotal, as she navigates the challenges of a rapidly evolving institution. The choices she makes now will determine not only her legacy, but also the future of the monarchy itself. The world is watching closely as this story unfolds. The pressure on William to lead the royal family into a new era is immense, but the challenges facing Princess Charlotte are equally significant. As her father consolidates power and reshapes the institution, Charlotte must find her place in this new world. Will she rise to the occasion and embrace her role, or will she resist the forces pulling her in multiple directions? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Princess Charlotte's journey is far from over, and the future of the monarchy hangs in the balance. The royal household has spent years carefully crafting her public image, presenting her as poised, mature, and ready for the responsibilities she will inevitably face. Yet William's bold decisions have made her role far more complex, and Charlotte now faces a crossroads that could define her place in the monarchy for decades to come. As William and Catherine rise in prominence, Princess Charlotte is left to wonder what this means for her future. Once seen as part of the supporting cast to her older brother, Prince George, Charlotte is now being viewed in a new light. Her father's modern vision for the monarchy means that the expectations placed upon her are evolving. No longer just a child in the background, Charlotte is increasingly positioned as a key figure in the monarchy's future. But the question remains, how will she respond to the shifting tides of power within her family? The monarchy has always been defined by its ability to adapt to the times, but this transition has been anything but smooth. The silent tension between the older and younger generations of royals is impossible to ignore, and Princess Charlotte's reaction to her father's decisions has captured the public's attention. While Charlotte has often been praised for her grace and maturity beyond her years, the world is watching closely as this story unfolds. The pressure on William to lead the royal family into a new era is immense, but the challenges facing Princess Charlotte are equally significant. As her father consolidates power and reshapes the institution, Charlotte must find her place in this new world. Will she rise to the occasion and embrace her role, or will she resist the forces pulling her in multiple directions? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Princess Charlotte's journey is far from over, and the future of the monarchy hangs in the balance.
If you look at the coronation footage, as the king and queen leave the thrones and head for the exit of Westminster Abbey on the coronation Saturday, you'll see that everyone bows and curtsies to the king, and no one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla. Camilla brought 20 Parker Bowleses to the coronation. There were 4 Middletons. All the people that helped Camilla get the crown on her head were excluded from that coronation, and they were furious. And not only that, Kate and William were angry too. And that anger, of course, Harry was angry, that anger went right through that small part of the congregation by the throne, by the centre of Westminster Abbey.
Princess Kate's refusal to curtsy to Queen Camilla during a recent public event has become a focal point of royal watchers and media alike, triggering a wave of speculation about what might be going on behind the closed doors of the British royal family. This incident, while seemingly minor, has brought to light the complexities of royal protocol, the relationships between senior royals, and the public's fascination with even the smallest gestures within the monarchy. For centuries, the British royal family has been steeped in tradition, with every move, gesture, and word often carrying significant weight. The act of curtsying, in particular, is more than just a polite gesture. It is a deeply symbolic act of respect and acknowledgement of rank within the royal hierarchy. The sight of Princess Kate, the wife of the future king, choosing not to curtsy to the current queen consort, was therefore a moment loaded with potential meaning. Observers at the event noted that as the royal family gathered, there was a palpable tension in the air. All eyes were on Kate as she approached Queen Camilla. Traditionally, as the Princess of Wales, Kate would be expected to show deference to Camilla, who, as queen consort, holds a higher rank. However, instead of the customary curtsy, Kate merely nodded politely before continuing on her way. The deviation from protocol was subtle, but in the world of royalty, where every gesture is scrutinized, it was enough to set off a flurry of rumors and discussions. Some insiders suggest that Kate's decision may have been influenced by a series of recent events that have strained her relationship with Camilla. It's no secret that the royal family has faced numerous challenges over the years, from the death of Princess Diana to the ongoing struggles with public perception and the media. These challenges have, at times, created rifts between different members of the family, and it's possible that these tensions are now playing out in public view. One potential source of tension could be the differing approaches Kate and Camilla have taken toward their royal duties. Kate, known for her modern approach and emphasis on mental health and children's issues, has become a beloved figure in the UK and beyond. Her calm demeanor and dedication to her role have won her widespread praise, particularly among the younger generation of royal watchers. On the other hand, Camilla's journey to becoming queen consort has been fraught with challenges, including her long and controversial relationship with King Charles, which was initially met with public skepticism. Over time, Camilla has worked hard to carve out her own role within the monarchy, focusing on issues such as domestic violence and literacy. Despite their different approaches, both women are united by their commitment to the monarchy and their families. However, the recent incident suggests that there may be underlying differences in how they view their roles and each other. Some sources close to the royal family have hinted that there may have been disagreements over how certain royal duties should be handled or how public appearances should be managed, leading to a build-up of tension that finally surfaced in this public moment. This isn't the first time that the British royal family has found itself at the center of public scrutiny due to interpersonal dynamics. The relationship between Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana, for example, was often portrayed as complex, with Diana's popularity and modern approach sometimes clashing with the traditionalism of the monarchy. Similarly, the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the rest of the royal family has been a source of intense media interest and public debate, particularly after the couple's decision to step back from their royal duties and the subsequent revelations about their experiences within the family. In many ways, the monarchy's public image is shaped as much by these personal relationships as by official duties and public engagements. The British public, and indeed people around the world, have a deep fascination with the royal family, viewing them not just as leaders, but as symbols of continuity, tradition, and national identity. As such, any sign of discord or deviation from the norm within the family is often magnified, leading to intense speculation and debate. The incident involving Kate and Camilla has also highlighted the challenges that come with navigating the complex world of royal protocol. While the rules and traditions of the monarchy are designed to maintain order and respect, they can also be a source of tension, particularly when personal feelings come into play. In this case, Kate's decision not to curtsy may have been a way of asserting her own identity and independence within the rigid structure of the royal family. The British royal family, with all its grandeur and tradition, is often seen as a symbol of continuity and stability in a rapidly changing world. Yet incidents like the one involving Princess Kate and Queen Camilla reveal the human side of this storied institution, where personal relationships and emotions intersect with the demands of duty and protocol. The refusal to curtsy might seem like a small act, but in the context of royal life, it carries significant weight, shedding light on the complexities and challenges that come with being part of such a unique and scrutinized family. As the public and media continue to speculate on the meaning behind this moment, it serves as a reminder that the royals, despite their elevated status, are not immune to the intricacies of personal dynamics. The balance between upholding tradition and navigating modern relationships is a delicate one, and this incident underscores the ongoing evolution of the monarchy as it seeks to remain relevant in the 21st century. In the coming years, as Kate and other younger royals take on more prominent roles, moments like these will likely shape how they are perceived both within the family and by the public. Will they adhere strictly to tradition, or will they seek to redefine their roles in a way that reflects their own values and the changing expectations of society? The answer to this question will play a crucial role in determining the future of the monarchy. For now, this incident stands as a moment of reflection, not just for the royal family, but for all who follow their story. It highlights the ongoing tension between personal feelings and public expectations, a theme that has run through the history of the British monarchy. As the world watches how this situation unfolds, it will be interesting to see how the royal family navigates this latest challenge and what it reveals about the future direction of the institution. Ultimately, the story of the British royal family is one of endurance, adaptation, and the constant balancing act between tradition and change. In a shocking turn of events, King Charles III has stepped down from his role as the monarch of the British royal family. This unprecedented move has sent shockwaves through the United Kingdom and around the world. Camilla, Queen Consort, has reportedly been deeply affected by this development, with sources close to the palace describing her as being in tears. This decision marks a significant moment in British history, altering the future of the monarchy in ways that were previously unimaginable. The announcement came after a series of private meetings within the royal family, leading to the king's official abdication. The news of King Charles III stepping down as the monarch of the British royal family has reverberated across the globe, marking a historic moment in the centuries-old institution. This decision, which has taken many by surprise, was made following a series of private discussions within the royal family. The gravity of the situation is evident, as sources close to Buckingham Palace have revealed that Queen Consort Camilla has been deeply moved by the decision, with reports indicating that she has been brought to tears by the turn of events. King Charles' decision to abdicate has not only shaken the foundations of the monarchy, but has also left the public and royal watchers in a state of disbelief. After years of waiting in the wings as the heir apparent, Charles ascended to the throne, following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. His reign, though short, has been marked by attempts to modernize the monarchy and address the changing dynamics of British society. However, his decision to step down comes as a significant departure from royal tradition, where abdications are rare and often carry considerable implications. In the days leading up to the announcement, there were whispers of tension and uncertainty within the royal household. Insiders have suggested that Charles faced mounting pressure, both from within the family and from external forces, to reconsider his role. The king's health, public opinion, and the future of the monarchy were reportedly central to these discussions. Despite the challenges, many believed that Charles would continue to fulfill his duties as monarch. However, the final decision to abdicate indicates the weight of the considerations he had to bear. Camilla, who has stood by Charles's side for decades, is said to have been particularly affected by the decision. As queen consort, she has faced her own share of public scrutiny and challenges. The prospect of Charles stepping down from the throne has added a personal dimension to the situation, amplifying the emotional toll it has taken on her. Those close to the couple have described Camilla as being visibly distressed, struggling to come to terms with the new reality of their lives. Her tears are a testament to the profound impact this decision has had on those within the royal circle. The implications of King Charles's abdication are vast and complex. For the royal family, it means a sudden shift in the line of succession, with Prince William now poised to take on the role of king sooner than anticipated. This change is likely to have far-reaching consequences for the monarchy, as William's vision for the future may differ significantly from that of his father. The British public, too, is grappling with the news, as they come to terms with the idea of another transition in leadership so soon after the passing of Queen Elizabeth. Internationally, the decision has prompted reactions from world leaders and royal families across the globe. The British monarchy has long been a symbol of continuity and stability, and the abdication of a sitting monarch is a rare and significant event. Allies and observers alike are now closely watching the developments in the UK, seeking to understand the motivations behind Charles's decision and what it means for the future of one of the world's most well-known institutions. In the wake of the announcement, the media has been abuzz with speculation and analysis.
She's gonna be murdered in a car, and nobody done nothing to protect her because they know they're planning to do what they have done to my son.
Princess Diana's life was not as perfect as it seemed. Behind the fancy dresses and big smiles, she was hiding a painful truth. Before she passed away, she shared shocking things about King Charles, things that many people never knew. She spoke about feeling trapped, lonely, and even scared. She revealed secrets about their marriage, their fights, and the things that happened behind closed doors. What she said was so disturbing that it left many wondering what was really going on inside the royal family. These were not just small problems. They were deep, dark truths that changed the way people saw the man who would one day be king. And once these secrets came out, nothing was ever the same again. Charles's alleged infidelity and emotional abuse. There was always someone else in Princess Diana's marriage. No matter how hard she tried, she could never shake the feeling that Camilla Parker Bowles was always there, lurking in the background. From the very start, Diana felt she was fighting a losing battle for Charles's love and attention. Diana once said something that broke millions of hearts around the world. She said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." That one sentence said it all. She wasn't just married to Charles, she was sharing him. And no woman should have to go through that kind of pain. Diana wasn't crazy. She wasn't imagining things. She knew Charles was having an affair with Camilla, even when everyone around her tried to tell her otherwise. But instead of Charles sitting down and reassuring his young wife, he made it worse. Whenever Diana brought it up, he would gaslight her. He would say things like, "You're paranoid," or "You're imagining it," making her question her own sanity. Can you imagine the man you love turning your deepest fears into a joke? That's exactly what happened to Diana. The emotional damage Charles caused her was massive. He didn't comfort her. He didn't protect her. He left her to deal with it all alone. Diana struggled with bulimia, an eating disorder that took over her life. She once shared that Charles made fun of her weight, pushing her deeper into the illness. Instead of helping, Charles turned away. He laughed at her, called her unstable, and labeled her as the problem in their marriage. Diana was drowning, and Charles stood by watching. He laughed off her pain, told others she was being dramatic, and treated her feelings like they didn't matter. That cold behavior broke Diana from the inside. It made her feel unloved, unwanted, and like a burden. For the world, they looked like the perfect royal couple. But behind closed doors, Diana was fighting a silent war. She was trying to save a marriage that Charles had given up on long ago. No matter what she did, it was never enough because, in the end, his heart belonged to someone else, Camilla. The Tampon Gate scandal and public humiliation. If Diana had any doubts about Charles's affair, those doubts were crushed when the Tampon Gate scandal hit the headlines in 1993. The private, intimate phone call between Charles and Camilla was leaked, and the world got to hear just how deep their relationship really was. The conversation was shocking, embarrassing, and humiliating, not just for Charles, but for Diana most of all. In the call, Charles joked about wanting to be reincarnated as Camilla's tampon, words so private and bizarre that even today, they make people uncomfortable. But imagine being Diana, hearing the man you're married to, the future King of England, talk like that to another woman. It wasn't just an affair. It was proof that everything Diana had feared was true. Charles loved Camilla, not her. And now, the whole world knew it. She couldn't hide anymore. She had to smile, wave, and pretend like it was all okay while every newspaper splashed that humiliation on the front page. For Diana, this wasn't just betrayal. It was public execution of her dignity. The royal family stayed silent, as always, leaving Diana to face the world alone. The scandal only made Diana stronger, though. It fueled her desire to speak out, to tell her side of the story. She knew if she stayed quiet, she'd be buried by the lies. The world's opinion of Charles took a huge hit. People couldn't believe the man who was supposed to be their future king could speak that way, act that way, and hurt Diana so deeply. But instead of breaking her, it pushed Diana to fight harder for her truth. Diana's dark predictions and fears before her death. The saddest part of Diana's story is that she knew deep down that her life was in danger. She said it more than once. She was scared that they would kill her. But who was they? The royal family? The press? The people who didn't want her speaking out? In private conversations, Diana shared her fears openly. She once said, "They're going to kill me in a car accident." Those words hit harder now, knowing how she died. It's chilling to think about. It was like she knew what was coming but felt powerless to stop it. There's also the Mishkan note, a letter written down by her lawyer after Diana told him about a plot she feared. She believed someone wanted to tamper with her car brakes or stage a crash. She thought she was being watched, followed, and set up. And the sad part is, nobody really listened. Diana wasn't just scared for herself. She was scared for her sons, William and Harry. She knew that the more she spoke out, the more dangerous it became for her. But still, she didn't stop. She refused to be silenced, even if it cost her everything. Her death left behind so many questions. Did she know too much? Was it really just an accident? Or did someone finally decide that Diana had said enough? Post-divorce explosions. After the divorce, Diana finally started speaking her truth, and the world listened. In 1995, she gave a now-famous interview to BBC Panorama with journalist Martin Bashir. That interview changed everything. Diana didn't hold back. She spoke about Charles's betrayal, about how she was left unprotected by the royal family, and about how lonely she felt. She admitted to her struggles with bulimia and depression, but more importantly, she made it clear that she was never the crazy one. She was the one surviving in an impossible situation. One of the most powerful moments was when Diana said she didn't think Charles was fit to be king. She feared that his actions, his cold heart, and his lack of empathy made him wrong for the role, and millions of people agreed with her. The interview caused an earthquake inside the royal family. Charles's reputation took a massive hit. People couldn't look at him the same way again. The once fairy tale prince was now seen as a cheating, cold-hearted man who broke the heart of the world's princess. But for Diana, it was more than revenge. It was freedom. For the first time, she was telling her story, her way. And people finally saw the real Diana. Not the royal puppet, but the strong, brave woman fighting for her life. After the interview, Diana's life began to change. She started focusing on humanitarian work, traveling the world, and helping people. She was becoming her own person, no longer just the princess, but a global icon for compassion and courage. Final days, final words. In the last months of her life, Diana seemed different. She was finally breaking free from the royal chains. She found love again, this time with Dodi Fayed, the son of billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed. Their relationship raised many eyebrows, especially inside the royal circle. There were whispers that Diana and Dodi were planning something big. Some said she was thinking about moving to the United States, starting a new life far away from the royal family. There were even rumors that she wanted full custody of William and Harry. She didn't want her boys growing up in the same cold world that had destroyed her. Some reports claimed that Diana was planning to reveal more secrets, that she was ready to expose the royal family in a way no one had ever done before. What she knew, what she had seen. It could have shaken the monarchy to its core. But we'll never truly know what Diana was planning because she never got the chance to finish her story.
Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, is typically known for her poise and grace in the public eye, but a recent incident has left many shocked. In a rare and unexpected moment, Kate was seen being rushed away after a tense, on-camera situation took a sudden and unsettling turn. While the specifics of the meltdown remain unclear, the footage has sparked widespread concern, with many wondering what could have caused such an unusual reaction from the normally composed Duchess. This incident has left royal watchers stunned, raising questions about the pressures Kate faces behind the scenes.
She always leaves a little gift or something in their room when we go and stay, and that just shows, I think, her love for her family.
Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, is one of the most visible and admired members of the British royal family. Known for her elegance, composure, and unwavering dedication to royal duties, Kate has managed to maintain a steady and dignified public image. But even someone as seemingly unflappable as Kate isn't immune to the intense pressures of life in the spotlight.
We're looking forward to spending the rest of the rest of our lives together, and seeing what the future holds.
In a rare moment that surprised many, Kate found herself at the center of an unexpected and unsettling incident that left her being rushed away in an unusually public manner. While Kate has always been known for handling public appearances with grace, this recent event has led to questions about the stress and challenges she faces behind closed doors.
Massively so. Of course, her and her family, I really want to make sure that they have the best sort of guidance and chance to see what life has been like, or what life is like in the family, and that's kind of almost why I have been waiting this long, is I wanted to give her a chance to see and to back out if she needed to.
The incident in question occurred during what was supposed to be a routine public engagement. As with many of Kate's appearances, the Duchess was on duty for a charitable cause, visiting an organization that focuses on early childhood development, a cause she has championed for years. The event was intended to be a positive and uplifting occasion, with Kate interacting with families and children as part of her ongoing work with the Royal Foundation's Early Years Initiative.
Before it all got too much, because I'm trying to learn from lessons done in the past, and I just wanted to give her the best chance to settle in and see what happens the other side.
And I'm also glad that I've had the time to to grow and understand myself more as well. So,
however, things took an unexpected turn when an on-camera situation reportedly became tense, leading to Kate being quickly ushered away from the event. While details of the specific circumstances remain unclear, reports suggest that Kate may have been overwhelmed by the situation, leading to what some witnesses described as a meltdown. Given her normally composed demeanor, this moment sparked widespread concern and media speculation.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to.
Royal watchers and fans were quick to point out that this kind of public reaction is highly unusual for the Duchess, who has faced years of intense scrutiny without showing signs of stress or discomfort in front of the cameras. This moment has brought renewed attention to the immense pressure Kate faces as a senior member of the royal family. Ever since marrying Prince William in 2011, Kate has been a constant presence in the public eye, taking on a growing number of responsibilities as the future Queen consort. Her every move, outfit, and interaction is scrutinized, and the expectations placed on her are enormous. Despite this, Kate has managed to maintain a near-perfect public image, rarely giving the media or the public a glimpse into any personal struggles she may be facing. However, this recent incident is a reminder that life in the royal family is not as glamorous or easy as it may seem. The pressures of constantly being in the spotlight, combined with the weight of royal duties, can take a toll on anyone, even someone as composed as Kate Middleton. While the British press has long been known for its relentless coverage of the royal family, the scrutiny has only intensified in recent years, particularly following the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from royal duties. This departure has left Kate and William with even more responsibilities, placing additional pressure on the couple as they step into more prominent roles within the monarchy. In the years since Meghan and Harry's exit, Kate has been seen as a stabilizing force within the royal family, working quietly and diligently to fulfill her duties without drawing too much attention to herself. However, the public and media often pit her against Meghan, comparing everything from their fashion choices to their public personas. This kind of comparison adds another layer of stress to Kate's role, as she's constantly being evaluated in contrast to other royals, particularly Meghan, who has taken a very different approach to life in the public eye. Kate's role in the ongoing rift between Prince William and Prince Harry has also been a source of significant tension. The once close brothers have reportedly become estranged in recent years, with their relationship reaching a breaking point following Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from their royal roles. While much of the media attention has focused on the brothers, Kate's position as William's wife has placed her squarely in the middle of this family drama. There have been numerous reports suggesting that Kate has tried to act as a peacemaker between the brothers, but the strain of the situation has undoubtedly taken a toll on her as well. As the world continues to watch Kate Middleton's every move, this recent incident serves as a reminder that life in the royal family comes with its own set of unique pressures. While the Duchess has consistently managed to maintain her grace and composure, the challenges she faces behind the scenes are undoubtedly significant. The media's fixation on this rare moment of vulnerability highlights the often unrealistic expectations placed on public figures, especially women in positions of power. Ultimately, the incident involving Kate Middleton being rushed away during a public appearance is a reflection of the immense pressure she faces as a senior royal. While the details of what exactly caused the situation remain unclear, it's a reminder that even those who seem to have it all together can experience moments of stress and vulnerability. Kate's ability to handle these challenges with grace is a testament to her strength. But it's also important to recognize that behind the polished public image is a person who, like everyone else, faces her own struggles. Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, has long been seen as the epitome of grace, poise, and royal duty. As a key figure in the British royal family, she has always maintained a composed and polished public image, rarely revealing much about her personal life. However, a recent statement from Kate has left many stunned and concerned. In a candid moment, she admitted, "Most people have no idea what is happening to me," sparking widespread speculation about the challenges she may be facing behind closed doors. This revelation has left royal watchers and fans alike wondering what struggles Kate may be enduring beneath her calm exterior.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous.
Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, has become one of the most beloved and admired members of the British royal family since her marriage to Prince William in 2011. Known for her elegance, grace, and commitment to royal duties, she has built a reputation as a steady and reliable figure in the monarchy. However, behind her composed public image, Kate has faced her own share of real-life challenges, both in her personal life and within the royal family.
My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery. At this time, I'm also thinking of all those whose lives have been affected by cancer. For everyone facing this disease, in whatever form, please do not lose faith or hope. You are not alone.
Recently, Kate's statement, "Most people have no idea what is happening to me," has drawn significant attention, leading to increased scrutiny of the pressures and difficulties she may be quietly enduring. While the comment remains vague, it highlights the fact that being in the public eye comes with a set of personal struggles that are often hidden from view. From the moment Kate Middleton began her relationship with Prince William, she was thrust into the global spotlight. Their courtship was closely watched by the media, and when they finally announced their engagement in 2010, the world celebrated. Their wedding in 2011 was a grand affair, watched by millions around the globe, cementing Kate's place as a future queen consort. But with the glamour and admiration came enormous pressure, as Kate had to quickly adapt to life as a royal with all the scrutiny, expectations, and responsibilities that accompany it. One of the first significant challenges Kate faced after becoming a member of the royal family was the constant media attention. As a high-profile figure, her every move, outfit, and decision has been analyzed and critiqued by the press and public. While Kate has always maintained a calm demeanor in public, the relentless attention can be overwhelming. The British tabloids, in particular, have been known for their ruthless treatment of public figures, and Kate has not been immune to this. There have been numerous instances where the media has sensationalized stories about her personal life, adding pressure to an already intense existence. Early in her marriage, Kate had to contend with rumors and gossip about her relationship with William. Speculation about their marriage, family planning, and Kate's role within the royal family often dominated headlines. Despite this, Kate has consistently kept a dignified silence, choosing not to engage in public spats with the media. But those close to her have hinted that the pressure has been immense, particularly as she navigated the transition from a private individual to one of the most photographed women in the world. Motherhood has been another area where Kate has faced both joy and challenge. Kate and Prince William are parents to 3 children: Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. While the birth of each of their children was celebrated by royal fans, Kate faced particular struggles during her pregnancies. She suffered from hyperemesis gravidarum, a severe form of morning sickness, during all 3 pregnancies. This condition caused extreme nausea and vomiting, often requiring hospitalization and forcing Kate to cancel royal engagements. Her battle with this debilitating illness was well documented, and it was clear that it took a significant toll on her health. Despite the physical challenges of pregnancy, Kate has been open about her deep love for her children and her commitment to being a hands-on mother. She has spoken publicly about the joys and difficulties of parenthood, acknowledging that even with the resources and help available to her, raising children is not without its challenges. Kate has also made mental health a key focus of her public work, often discussing how being a mother has made her more aware of the emotional needs of children and parents alike. One of Kate's most publicized struggles has been navigating the complicated dynamics within the royal family, particularly following the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from royal duties in 2020. The so-called Meg-Sit created significant tension within the family, and Kate found herself in the midst of it. As the wife of Prince William, who is second in line to the throne, Kate has had to maintain a delicate balance between supporting her husband, upholding her duties as a royal, and dealing with the fallout from the strained relationship between the brothers. The rift between Prince William and Prince Harry has been widely reported, and while much of the focus has been on the brothers, Kate's role in this dynamic cannot be overlooked. Kate and Harry were once close.
For centuries, the British monarchy has stood as a pillar of continuity, heritage, and a sense of collective identity. Its traditions have been woven into the fabric of the nation, offering a reminder of time-honored ceremonies, elaborate protocols, and the enduring institution of royalty. Yet, every so often, an event arises that shakes the venerable pillars of this royal edifice, leaving both public observers and royal insiders in a state of collective astonishment. In one such extraordinary turn of events, King Charles has chosen to step away from his royal title. This decision, seemingly born of a convergence of private convictions and public pressures, has ignited heated debates and intense curiosity across the globe. How did King Charles arrive at this watershed moment? What dynamics led him to relinquish the station he once seemed destined to uphold? And what does the future hold for a monarchy that has been forced to confront the realities of modern life in a way it rarely has? The first reactions to King Charles's decision were, predictably, a cocktail of disbelief and fervor. Royal watchers, the media, and the public at large struggled to reconcile the image of Charles as the face of established ceremony with a new vision of him stepping away from a role that has defined him for so many years. Some wondered if his choice was motivated by personal longing, a desire to forge a life unencumbered by ceremonial trappings, while others speculated that this step was part of a broader realignment within the monarchy itself, signaling that even the grandest institutions are not immune to the imperatives of changing times. All at once, questions flooded every corner of public discourse. Was this an attempt on King Charles's part to modernize the monarchy from within, or was it evidence of private struggles made public? Could it be a bid to protect his own mental or emotional well-being, or a response to the friction created by competing visions within the royal family? These layers of speculation did little to quell the public's thirst for clarity. Official statements were spare in detail, providing enough information to confirm the essential facts, but leaving ample space for rumors to flourish. Royal correspondents swarmed to glean any hint of hidden motives, turning an already complicated situation into a maze of theories, counter-theories, and endless commentary. For the British monarchy, an institution built on continuity and respect for established protocols, such widespread public questioning was unsettling. to say the least. Monarchs are typically paragons of steadiness, their decisions reflecting slow and deliberate changes rather than abrupt shifts. But King Charles's choice felt strikingly different. Indeed, the monarchy had seldom seen a development so abrupt since the era of the abdication crisis in the early 20th century. What lay behind this monumental decision? To answer that question, one has to consider the remarkable path King Charles traveled before this moment. Born into a life of inherited responsibilities, Charles spent much of his existence knowing he stood in the direct line of succession, bound to the future role of reigning over the country. From his earliest days, the weight of public expectation hovered, guiding his education, shaping his experiences, and dictating the trajectory of his personal life. Though he had passions, environmental causes, organic farming, charitable ventures, those pursuits were often cast in the light of his impending destiny as monarch. When he finally ascended to the throne, it felt like the culmination of everything his life had prepared him for. Yet, as with all human stories, the linear path from heir to sovereign was accompanied by complications. Critics sometimes labeled him overly traditional, while paradoxically, some contended he was too outspoken on modern topics such as architecture or climate change. The public's perception swung between viewing him as a figure well-equipped to guide a venerable institution into the contemporary era, or an out-of-touch royal uncertain of how to connect with an increasingly diverse and skeptical public. His personal relationships became fodder for endless tabloid speculation, adding an extra burden to the already colossal responsibilities that come with wearing a crown. Against this backdrop, King Charles's recent decision to relinquish his title seems less abrupt than it might appear on the surface. He had long walked a tightrope between honoring ancient customs and wrestling with the need to adapt the monarchy to modern values. Perhaps the tension of that balancing act eventually pushed him to make an extraordinary choice, to carve out a role not entirely dictated by protocol, but by personal conviction and an evolving sense of responsibility. For outsiders, the significance of losing the kingly title is immense. Traditionally, a monarch's position is sacrosanct, conferred at the coronation and regarded as a lifetime station. That Charles would choose to renounce or step aside from it, even in part, raised urgent questions about how the monarchy would recalibrate, how it could maintain its aura of continuity and stability once its central figure decided to leave that role behind. Public reaction to King Charles's move illuminated a growing divide in how people view royalty in the 21st century. Some segments of the public, particularly those with a deep attachment to ceremonial monarchy, viewed his decision as a betrayal of ancient customs. They argued that monarchy by nature is a lifetime commitment, an unspoken contract that links the sovereign to the people. Others, however, saw in Charles a figure of modern leadership courage, someone willing to admit that old forms must give way if the institution is to endure. To them, letting go of the burdens of kingship signaled adaptability rather than abandonment, suggesting that the monarchy might yet shift its focus away from pageantry and toward more tangible forms of service and connection with contemporary society. In many respects, the monarchy found itself at a crossroads, confronted by a stark existential question. Could an institution that has thrived for centuries on ceremonial continuity reshape itself substantially enough to remain relevant, especially when its reigning figure has stepped away from the formal symbols of kingship? The monarchy is historically resistant to dramatic change, preferring incremental evolution over radical transformation. However, King Charles's decision thrust it into uncharted territory. Royal advisors and family members scrambled to manage the fallout, balancing a desire to respect Charles's personal autonomy with the need to preserve the monarchy's unifying function. Everyone recognized that the significance of Charles's choice would reverberate far beyond palace walls. The emotional dimensions of Charles's action were no less compelling. For decades, he bore the title of Prince of Wales, then ascended to become king, a station that placed him at the summit of royal responsibility. The public often glimpsed the formalities, his participation in solemn ceremonies, his speeches addressing national causes, his presence at key events. Few, however, witnessed the personal toll of such constant scrutiny. The monarchy thrives on visibility. Every gesture, every word, every choice of attire can become a talking point. For a man of introspective bent, who once showed genuine fervor for quiet pursuits like reading philosophy or planting trees, The day-to-day demands of monarchy were draining on both emotional and intellectual levels. Stepping back might have been an attempt to reclaim a piece of his own identity, an identity that had remained subsumed by ceremony for much of his life. Observers also note that King Charles's choice may have been deeply influenced by the example of others within the family and beyond. Modern royals like William and Catherine have already shown a flair for embracing new forms of outreach, social media, and more casual public encounters, arguably broadening the monarchy's appeal. Might Charles have felt overshadowed by the ease with which the younger generation navigates the digital age, or possibly inspired by the notion that monarchy can be flexible? Moreover, one can't discount the impact of global conversations about mental health, personal fulfillment, and the challenges posed by relentless public gaze. Charles might have wanted to set a precedent, that it's permissible even for royalty to choose personal well-being over unyielding tradition. Speculations aside, the immediate ripple effects were profound. First and foremost, the monarchy's protocols had to be re-examined. If Charles is no longer king in the formal sense, who stands at the helm of the institution? Is the heir presumptive automatically installed, or does a caretaker figure step in, pending formalities? The line of succession is ordinarily a rigid sequence, but Charles's voluntary relinquishment tested that rigidity. Was his departure final or partial, and what does it mean for the global network of Commonwealth realms that once recognized him as their sovereign? These details needed to be clarified promptly to forestall any constitutional vacuum or public confusion. Then there was the challenge of reorganizing official duties. Ceremonial functions, such as the state opening of Parliament, trooping the color, and the distribution of honors, typically center on the reigning monarch. If King Charles was retreating from the front and relinquishing the symbolic scepter, who would assume these duties? Would the monarchy parcel out responsibilities among multiple senior members, or designate a single figure to represent the crown? Each possibility carried its own consequences for power dynamics within the family. Some family members might welcome the chance to have a more prominent role, while others might feel overwhelmed by the additional obligations. One cannot overlook the emotional and political ramifications for those nearest and dearest to Charles. Figures like Queen Camilla, often seen as his staunchest ally, faced the delicate task of supporting his personal decision, while also honoring the monarchy's collective needs. Rose Hanbury's name has long held a special resonance in British aristocratic circles, her life seemingly woven from threads of tradition, legacy, and a hint of quiet rebellion. Born into a respected noble family, she grew up surrounded by elegant homes, genteel gatherings, and an ingrained sense of duty that shaped her formative years. Even as a child, she was known for her thoughtful demeanor and a reserved charm that set her apart in a social sphere where confidence and affability are prized qualities. From a young age, Rose was taught the customs of aristocratic life: when to curtsy, what topics to discuss at the table, how to project grace and warmth without seeming contrived. Yet, beneath those carefully polished manners, she harbored private dreams that extended beyond the gilded confines of Britain's upper crust. Rose was blindsided by the sudden surge in gossip. She had never angled for the spotlight. Indeed, she had spent most of her life avoiding it, preferring the safety of a measured, dignified presence that placed her neither at the center of attention nor so distant that she became a subject of exclusion. To find herself cast as a focal point of tabloid speculation was jarring. At first, she attempted to ignore the murmurs. She believed that by refusing to dignify unsubstantiated rumors with a response, she could starve the story of oxygen. Yet the media's appetite seemed insatiable. Headlines speculated on her every move. If she stood too close to Prince William at a function, it fueled new whispers. If she avoided certain events altogether, tabloids read that as evidence she was hiding from controversy. Friends and advisors advised her on how to handle the situation. Some encouraged her to give a definitive statement denying all wrongdoing, while others insisted that silence was golden in the face of baseless innuendo. Rose struggled with the choice. She valued her privacy deeply, but also felt a moral impetus to defend herself, not just for her own reputation, but for the sake of her family and the people who had always supported her. Each day that passed without a formal statement only seemed to fuel the rumor mill. At the same time, every new rumor or tabloid headline left her feeling more invaded, as if her personal life, so carefully guarded, was being stripped bare for public entertainment. The stress took a toll on her well-being. She found it difficult to sleep, constantly anticipating the next wave of sensational headlines. Her daily routines, once simple and fulfilling, became tinged with apprehension. Even small outings, such as stepping out for tea or running an errand, could be photographed and then dissected. A life of quiet luxury and understated responsibilities mutated into a never-ending battle against a narrative she never signed up for. Adding to the pressure was the knowledge that her association with the royal family magnified every rumor, every small event, into an international news item. The monarchy, bound by centuries of precedent and the tradition of silent dignity, was unlikely to intervene publicly on her behalf, leaving her to navigate the minefield mostly on her own. Moreover, the rumors cast an unwelcome spotlight on her friendship with Kate, a bond that she had valued for its genuine warmth and mutual respect. Now, that friendship was pulled into the tabloid swirl of speculation. Magazines fueled notions of rivalry, betrayal, or tension. In that environment, even an innocuous moment, like being seated at the same table during a charity fundraiser, could be twisted into an entire narrative about forced interactions or veiled hostility. Rose's relationship with Kate was suddenly tabloid fodder, dissected by outsiders who had never witnessed their genuine rapport behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Prince William faced his own share of public scrutiny, yet the monarchy's time-honored strategy of silence prevailed. Those who empathized with Rose acknowledged the impossibility of her position. How do you fight an amorphous cloud of rumors without unwittingly giving them more substance? How do you retain your dignity when every attempt to set the record straight can be misconstrued as proof of guilt? At times, Rose considered issuing a firm denial through official channels. Yet she also feared that stepping forward to battle the tabloids directly would entrench her even further in the public eye, a place she never wanted to be. She made a series of measured choices designed to minimize attention. Invitations to glamorous events went unanswered. She reduced her presence on social platforms, restricting any glimpses the world might have of her day-to-day life. With each retreat, the tabloids pounced, interpreting her withdrawal as evidence she was avoiding Kate or being exiled by the royals. In truth, her decision to step back was more about self-preservation than anything else. She sought refuge among her closest circles. Yet the scandal refused to burn itself out. The story had all the elements the public relished: a supposed love triangle, a glamorous aristocrat, the future king and queen, and an official silence that left imaginative spaces for rumors to flourish. In some corners of social media, she was vilified. In others, she was defended as a victim of tabloid cruelty. Her life's narrative had splintered into countless versions, each retold by people who had never met her. Behind closed doors, she grappled with anxiety and a deep sense of frustration at how swiftly an unsubstantiated rumor could overshadow her years of dignified discretion. Eventually, the emotional strain reached such an intensity that she realized something had to change. She could not continue living as the unwitting protagonist in a public drama that showed no sign of ending. After much deliberation, she decided to take a decisive step, a formal announcement that she would step away from public life. The statement came through a single, carefully worded communication to a well-regarded British paper that had historically treated her with at least a modicum of fairness. She explained that she valued her privacy, that the speculation had taken a personal toll, and that she intended to focus on her family and personal pursuits away from the Klieg lights of paparazzi and endless gossip. The media reception was immediate and intense, as expected. Some outlets interpreted her announcement as tantamount to an admission that she had something to hide. Others claimed she was being bullied out of her rightful social circles by an unrelenting rumor mill. More sympathetic voices framed her departure as a courageous act of self-defense, a measured refusal to let public scrutiny consume her life. Rose, now resolute in her choice, refused to be drawn into further commentary. For her, stepping away was not about winning an argument or feeding a controversy. It was about preserving her well-being and reasserting a control she felt had been snatched from her. Over the following months, she began the practical work of retreating from the public arena. she scaled back her participation in aristocratic events, politely declining invitations that would have placed her in the direct line of tabloid attention. She also shifted her philanthropic energies towards smaller charities and organizations where she could contribute more discreetly. Instead of hosting lavish fundraisers or making high-profile appearances, she worked quietly in the background, offering her time and financial support without any fanfare. Her circle of close friends grew tighter, focused on those who had demonstrated unwavering loyalty and respect for her privacy. There were whispers, of course, that this departure could be temporary, that in time she might re-emerge. But Rose herself felt a profound relief in stepping off that public stage. Where once her days had been governed by social calendars and insidious rumors, she now woke to simpler rhythms: a morning walk, an afternoon spent reading or practicing photography, evenings dedicated to meaningful conversation with family and longtime confidants. Freed from the need to second-guess how each move might be perceived, she discovered a sense of peace that had long eluded her. Naturally, the tabloids were slow to let go. They spun stories about her reclusion, suggesting it was forced upon her by royal decree, or that she was harboring bitterness over alleged slights. But as time passed, and she consistently refused to re-engage, the appetite for new material about her dwindled. Other controversies arose to occupy the front pages, and the ceaseless churn of celebrity news found fresh subjects. Gradually, Rose's name became less frequent in the columns. Whenever it did surface, it was little more than a footnote, an echo of a once sensational storyline that people had largely moved on from. Meanwhile, within the royal family, the fallout took a subtler form. Kate carried on with her duties, sometimes facing questions about Rose that she politely sidestepped. Prince William, adhering to protocol, remained silent. In official settings, neither mention nor hint of the rumors was ever made. Palace aides presumably noted that the silent strategy seemed effective, and from the monarchy's perspective, the entire ordeal was best left to fade from collective memory. While no public statement was ever issued on behalf of the royals to clarify the true nature of Rose's connection to them, their unwavering silence was itself a statement that they did not deem the rumor worth acknowledging. Behind the scenes, there were quiet regrets. Kate was said to mourn the carefree closeness she had once shared with Rose, a friendship tested and strained by the swirl of unwanted attention. Those who knew the two women personally understood that whatever tensions had arisen, the root cause was never real enmity, but rather the media's compulsion to pit them against each other. But high-profile lives leave little room for clarifications, especially when clarifications might only perpetuate the gossip cycle. Thus, both women moved forward, carving separate paths in a world that had often thrust them together in ways they never orchestrated.
Royal Princess Anne. She has opened up the room and opened up her schedule to do something she rarely does.
Just minutes ago, Princess Anne stunned the world with a heartfelt and emotional farewell to Buckingham Palace. Her words left millions of royal watchers in shock as they realized that the royal family is not as invincible as they once thought. In a candid moment that broke royal protocol, Anne opened up about the impact the palace had on her life and how it shaped her journey. But what made this farewell so unexpected? Princess Anne, known for her stoic demeanor, revealed a side of herself that many thought didn't exist. It wasn't just a goodbye. It was a deep reflection on everything Buckingham Palace symbolized for her. Was this a final emotional release or a strategic move? Her words will change how you see the royal family forever. In her emotional goodbye, Princess Anne didn't just speak about her time at Buckingham Palace, but she revealed the silent, unseen struggles she faced while living under its roof. This wasn't the royal image everyone has come to know, perfect, polished, and untouched by pain. Anne's honesty about the weight of royal expectations, the pressure, and even her desire for personal freedom shocked the public. Was this the real Anne, or was she just tired of the expectations placed on her by the monarchy? She opened up about how, for years, the palace felt less like a home and more like a gilded cage. Her words suggested that perhaps it was time to move on, not just from the palace, but from the heavy burden of royal duty itself. As Anne spoke, there was a clear message for anyone listening. The royal family, despite its image of unity, is far from flawless. The emotions were raw, the reflections deep and the words revealing. Princess Anne's farewell was not just about Buckingham Palace, it was about her own evolution as a member of the royal family. Her life, dictated by duty, was coming to a crossroads. Could this moment mark the beginning of a shift in how royals engage with the public and their duties? For the first time, Princess Anne was openly questioning the very system she's lived under for decades. What followed in her emotional speech left everyone questioning her future role within the royal family. Princess Anne didn't just say goodbye. She hinted at stepping back from the limelight. Was this a soft rebellion against the monarchy? Could the monarchy itself be headed for a major change, with Princess Anne leading the charge for a new era? Anne's words were not just a reflection, they were a potential warning to the royal family. Could this moment signal the beginning of the end for Buckingham Palace's hold over its most famous family? As the royal world processes this monumental announcement, one thing is clear. Princess Anne's emotional farewell has shaken the monarchy to its core. What do you think this means for the future of the royal family? Could this mark the beginning of a much-needed change, or is it simply the reflection of a tired royal under too much pressure? Stay tuned, because there's much more to come in this unfolding story. The secret behind Princess Anne's decision to leave Buckingham Palace will shock you. What made Princess Anne decide to bid farewell to Buckingham Palace? It wasn't just a desire for privacy or a simpler life. No, her decision goes much deeper. In her emotional farewell, Anne revealed an unexpected truth about her royal journey. For years, the public only saw a polished, strong princess, but behind the scenes, Anne's life was much more complicated. While the palace represents tradition, power, and duty, it also became a place of personal struggle. Her words about feeling trapped in the royal system resonated with many who believed she thrived in her role. But what made Anne truly decide to step away? For Anne, the constant spotlight and the pressure of royal duties became more than just a burden. It became a wall. She spoke candidly about her frustrations with the constraints of palace life. Unlike other royals who seemed to enjoy the luxury and glamour of their positions, Anne found herself seeking more than what Buckingham Palace could offer. But it wasn't just a case of wanting privacy or peace. Princess Anne was searching for something deeper. Her farewell was not just about leaving a building. It was about leaving behind an institution that, for decades, had dictated her life. The question remains, what does this mean for the future of the monarchy? Anne's personal reflections revealed a level of dissatisfaction that few expected. While many view her as the quintessential royal, always composed and duty-bound, Anne confessed that her journey through the royal family was far from ideal. She talked about the weight of tradition, and how, over time, it stifled her growth. It was as though she was constantly suffocated by the expectations of her title. Princess Anne's decision to leave Buckingham Palace wasn't just a personal choice. It was a bold statement against the very fabric of royal life. Is this a message to other royals who feel similarly constrained? Anne's exit might be the beginning of a royal awakening that could change everything. The media reaction has been explosive, with some seeing Anne's departure as a rebellion, while others speculate about her deeper motivations. Was Anne trying to reclaim her personal identity? Or was she sending a message about the pressures faced by all royals? Whatever the reason, Princess Anne's words have opened a Pandora's box of royal truths that the public wasn't ready for.